scroll now with an entrepreneurial thinking cap on and ask yourself, okay, who do I already follow? Obviously, I'm interested in this. Who of these have business, like, who of these are a business? And you'd be shocked at how many accounts are actually businesses.
Hey, Laptop Freedom Babes,
This is
Wanderlust.
Carla from Greece.
Hello.
Hello. It is live at 5. Super excited for today's free training. It is accompanied by a glass of New Zealand Sauv Blanc. What I did about a month ago is I went to the liquor store. I went to the New Zealand section. I bought 5 different bottles of Sauv Blanc to see which one I like better. And you know what? They all taste the same. It's because I'm not a wine expert. So, super excited for today's live at 5. If any of you are following me on Instagram today or in the group, you'll know that I'm all fired up today. Kate, yes, you should get wine. I don't care what time it is. Make it champagne and add orange juice. Kate, you're going to have to tell me some good Australian wines. This is a Sauv Blanc from New Zealand. Okay, today's free training, really excited about it. It is about finding clients on Instagram. Kate, who is watching, is an LFP babe. She's implementing some of these practices already, which I'm obsessed with. Okay, if you're listening, hey, let me know. Tell me you're here. Say hi. Pour yourself a glass of wine. Let me know where you're watching from. All that jazz. I am Rebecca. We always have new members, so I try to remember to introduce myself every time. I'm Rebecca. I am the Wanderlust VA. I run the Laptop Freedom program, the Laptop Freedom Moms program, and I'm always, always, always looking at new offerings and way to serve you beautiful ladies, especially during a time when online business is increasing. So, before I start on the whole Instagram, this is a download that I had that I want to share with you. This pandemic has forced some businesses to go online, like live or die, forced businesses to go online. And this happens during revolutions, all this kind of stuff. Someone is forced to change. The supporting industries, it's then their job to catch up and catch up to that increase. So tons of businesses were forced to go online, and virtual assisting, which is a supporting industry to online businesses, are now, there's a gap and we need to fill that up. We need to catch up. So the demand for VAs is solid. It's doing really, really well. Super excited. Steph, throwing back a cold glass of milk. Fair enough, Steph. I would be concerned if you were having a glass of wine, but I'll have one for you, sister. Okay, using Instagram to find VA clients. So there's 2 ways to use Instagram to find VA clients. I'm going to tell you the 2 ways in overview. The first way is if you have no idea who your ideal client is and you don't really have a niche. That's way number 1. Way number 2 is you definitely have an area of expertise, a super specific niche, and you know exactly who your ideal client is. And that's like a really strategic way to use Instagram. Hi, Kara. Hearts to you too. So glad you're here. Oh, I love you ladies so much. Okay, so let's jump into, I want to be a VA. I don't really have a niche. I'm super open just to learning everything. Don't really have an ideal client. I just want to like work with everyone and everything, and I don't want to pigeonhole myself. Great. You can totally do that. Yes, Kara, red wine. Super into that. Ooh, I have a Bordeaux. Maybe I'll have for dinner. I promise I'm not like drunk or anything. And that's how I started, okay? I started my virtual assistant business, in fact, with basically no experience. I had been an executive assistant in the film industry, which is really pigeonholey. And I was like, this isn't going to translate online. All I knew is that I wanted to be a virtual assistant ASAP. And so I was like, I will take anything and everything. I don't care. So I was in the first boat. Like, I didn't have a niche. I didn't really know much. I didn't have an ideal client. I just wanted the business to start, and I knew I would figure it out afterwards along the way. So Instagram can really help with this. Instagram is super juicy and for engagement, and honestly, so many businesses are hanging out in Instagram. So there's actually an LFP babe in the current cohort who has a discovery call with a client that she sourced from Instagram. So this is one way to use Instagram. First, see who you already follow. Check out, like, well, while you're scrolling, scroll now with an entrepreneurial thinking cap on and ask yourself, okay, who do I already follow? Obviously, I'm interested in this. Who of these have business, like, who of these are a business? And you'd be shocked at how many accounts are actually businesses. Travel bloggers are businesses. Stationery shops are businesses. Like influencer Instagram accounts are businesses, and all of these people could use the services of a virtual assistant. So just consciously be thinking about, who am I following, because that's already what you're interested in. And wouldn't it be really cool to work with one of those people? For me, one of my original clients was an Instagram account I followed, and it was a company that sold like hollowed out ski poles, so you could put beer in the ski pole and drink it while you're skiing. I originally followed this account because I was like, that's hilarious, and I think that's a good idea. And then when I started my VA business, I was like, hold on, this person could use my support, and that's when I reached out to them. So seeing who you already follow, as well as using hashtags to things that interest you, will help sort of narrow down who you think you would like to work with, because so many profiles on Instagram are businesses. Okay, so great. I know, Steph, it's genius. It's called whiskey polls. Okay, so you have found someone that you'd like to work for. Let's say it is a stationery account, calligraphy, something like this. And you would love to you love what they do. Or in like Steph's case, it is like some amazing West Coast, earth-based sort of camping cabin hotel business that you'd love to work with, stuff like this, okay? You start by engaging on their account. This is a lot like dating, okay? If you were standing in a bar and a potential suitor just like walked straight up to you and was like, let's get married, let's have kids, let's buy a white house with a picket fence and get a golden retriever, you would freak the fuck out, right? So you have to think of finding clients a lot like dating. Cold outreach, I think, is dead, but you can bring your cold outreaches up to warm outreaches up to hot leads, right? So you find the account, let's say it's a stationery store, you start to engage on it, like their stuff, comment, show your support. Ooh, that's a bad look. Okay, show your support, and sort of create that back and forth. If they are a business that really values engagement with their audience, they're going to start commenting back and forth. Kara, that's not how you date, Kara. Oh, that's so funny. And you start to engage in back and forth. So you bring that cold lead up to a warm lead because they're starting to get to know you. Then you can send them a direct message. You can slide into their DMs and you can say, hey, stationery store, I love following you. I love your business. I love what you stand for. I'm wondering, do you have a virtual assistant on your team? Something like that. Let them reply. In some cases, they might say, no, in fact, we don't have a virtual assistant. And then you can create that conversation. It's not salesy or pitchy or gross. Then you just like dive into someone's DM and like send them the sales version of a dick pic. Like totally unsolicited. It's gross. People don't want it, right? Create connection, create engagement. That's benefits both of you, right? You're creating a relationship, and it's really as easy as that. So you locate who you'd like, who are you following, searching hashtags, all that kind of stuff. Identify a business, really kind of like their stuff, comment, engage with them, then send them a DM. I really love your stuff. I love what you stand for, that your stationery is organic and it's made it's made locally, and that you have the cutest tabby cat sitting in your office. I'm wondering if you have a virtual assistant on your team, and see where they go from there. And then you can create that connection, that conversation, and hopefully hop on a discovery call. So that is how you can use Instagram to, not cold outreach, warm outreach, if that makes sense, and really kind of take advantage of that and just use it as one other source to find clients. Okay, there's lots of places to find clients. If you're me, you believe that everyone is a potential client. Everyone is a potential client, and I am here to receive them. So that is a good way to use Instagram at the beginning, when you really have like no idea who your ideal client is, and you're super open to being like a general VA and helping out in all areas of business. Okay. Second way to use Instagram, which I touched on before. Okay. Kara, Steph, Kate, let's all have a glass of wine. Okay. Back to it. So, second way to use Instagram is much more strategic. This is for people who know their niche, they have an area of expertise, and they know who their ideal client is. For example, we have a woman in the Laptop Freedom Program right now in the July cohort. She is probably in this boat. She has tons of experience being an event planner, and she knows who her ideal client is. She knows who she would love to work for, okay? So now this is totally different. This is like, we can get strategic about this. And let me preface, if you do not have a niche and you do not have an ideal client, that is so okay. I'm not saying this is what you need. I'm not even saying this is better. I'm just saying if you do, this is a tactic that might work for you. Kate, who's watching this, she is doing this route as well, and it's really, really fun to watch. So let's say you have an expertise already in event planning. Let's use this as an example. And your ideal client is psychic mediums. Don't know why I came up with that, but that's okay. I don't even know why psychic mediums would hold events, but let's just say that they do in this example. So then it might be in your best interest to have an Instagram account. You have an Instagram account where you showcase your expertise to this very specific ideal client, and then you funnel them to contacting you that way. And that's how you create your engagement. So when you see virtual assistant coaches and mentors telling you to have a social media, whatever, accounts and stuff like that, this is what they mean, I think, for most of it. I can't say everything, but I believe this is what most of them mean when they say that. And this isn't for everyone, but this is the option. And I want you to make sure, I'm going to put a little asterisk. I'm going to pause. You're going to hear this from me all the time. If you use this Instagram account method as a obstacle, self-limiting, cock-blocking belief that stops you from getting started, then don't do it. This is only for strategy. And if you sit back on your heels and get mopey that you only have 10 Instagram followers and you wonder why you don't have clients, pull the plug on this strategy, because it's not serving you. Okay. Rant over. So you start an Instagram account and you get really specific in your bio. I am a virtual assistant that helps spiritual mediums put on virtual events, or in-person events. I'm saying virtual events because we're seeing that in-person events aren't working right now in this pandemic. So that's the shift. Yes. Okay. So you then are going to be posting content that shows what you know as an expert in your field for that client. So your content is going to be things like best venues for spiritual mediums to be holding events. That will be one post. Then the next time you post, it is uh, how to, event ticket marketing funnels for spiritual mediums. And then your next post is going to be best online platforms for spiritual mediums to be putting on virtual events during a pandemic. Things like this, okay? So specific. Yes, you want to put some things about yourself, like, hi, I'm Rebecca, and I love cats, dogs, and this is a picture of me camping. Yeah, you want to have some of that. But your Instagram account is so specific about your niche and who you're talking to that when spiritual mediums land on your page, they're like, oh, this is the go-to person in that niche, and I need them right now, and I need their support. So then what you do is when you have this account and you have this, um, when you have a specific account, is that then you can, via hashtag searching, that's a big one, via hashtag searching, is you can then go to your ideal clients' pages. So you will go visit spiritual mediums accounts and you will comment, you will engage, you'll let them know what you know. Then, they might go out, check out your account, and they're like, oh, what? Like, this is the go-to VA for putting on virtual events for spiritual mediums. Like, this is good to know. And then you can engage with them, slide into their DMs and say, hey, I really love your content. That one piece when you went and spoke to that woman's grandmother that has since passed away and like that totally moved me. I would love to support you. And, have you ever considered doing virtual events, especially during a pandemic? And so that's how you come into Instagram in a really strategic way. And it's so specific. It doesn't make sense to have necessarily an Instagram account for just general VAing because it's like, who are you talking to? And when you're talking to too many people, you're talking to no one. It's sort of this marketing thing. If you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. And so if it's too general and you're just like, hi, I'm a VA, and here's like a picture of me camping and some content about, website management, that doesn't have hooks. You know what I mean? Like marketing has to have hooks. And so if you're really specific on what you want to offer and who your ideal client is, it's like, oh, she's talking to me. Oh, and she's actually talking to me and reading my future mind about the fact that I need to start putting on events virtually because the pandemic has made me cancel all of my in-person retreats. I hope that makes sense. So those are two ways that Instagram can be used to source virtual assistant clients. The first is that if you don't necessarily have a niche, you don't really have an ideal client, you can start to sort of just take inventory of who you follow, who you seem to like, who you seem to be drawn to, engage with them, slide into their DMs, tell them that you really love, like you want to create connection, be really genuine, that you love what they stand for, you love to support their business. Do they have a virtual assistant on their team? The other way is a lot more strategic. It's like you are creating a second account for your virtual assistant business, and she's specific. And she knows exactly who she's talking to, and she's using those hashtags to hashtag spiritual mediums. She's clicking on it, and she's engaging with those people, and it's a lot more business related. It's a lot more strategic. So I hope that was really valuable. I hope you got a lot out of there. I hope you're all sipping glasses of wine. Thank you so much, ladies, for engaging and putting in the comments. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. I always come on to my lives afterwards and answer all of those comments. I have to bounce. Actually, Kara, Steph, Kate, the alumni of the Laptop Freedom Program, we are doing a free Pinterest training webinar in 10 minutes. So this is a free Pinterest training webinar exclusive for the Laptop Freedom Program alumni only. So this is just for the alumni of the Laptop Freedom Program, and we are doing a free training webinar on how virtual assistants can offer Pinterest management and what that means for a business. So amazing. Thank you for hopping on, and cheers.